Good morning. Getting started kind of late, but better late than never. So this morning, well, actually it's early afternoon, I'm going to change the bearings. See, I got the axle painted. Got some new bearings yesterday, so we're going to change those bearings. But first thing I need to do is to cut some grass. Everything away when I'm done with it, because if I don't, I'll never find it, because I never remember what I did with it. Well, that's on. Well, it's 86 degrees out today, and I'm working on these hubs for the trailer. I already drove the bearing races out of this. I bought some new bearing races, 37 bucks for bearings and bearing races, and I thought it was, looking at the package, I thought I had two sets there. But actually I had only one set. So I already drove this one out, so I'll drive the other one out and let you watch me. All right, so if you can see this, there's a bearing race inside. This end is in there about a half an inch. This end's in about a quarter of an inch. I don't know how it's coming out. We're going to drive the 1/4 inch one out first. And what I'm going to do is drive it down to where it hits the table. And then I'll put some blocks on it so I can drive it the rest of the way out. Yep, almost at the table. I can tell when it's at the table because I can hear it hit. All right, there's at the table. Here's my 2 blocks from back in my apprenticeship days. Okay, that race is out. Actually, that race looks pretty good, but you can see the staining on there, which is basically rust, and that's what we're trying to get rid of. All right, so this one's got to drive a half an inch before it even gets to the table here. Sounds like I got there. Yep. So you see that? That's even here. So now we'll block it again. All right. Got that one off. Okay. Now I can clean this up. I'll get the hub all painted and get it ready for to install the other bearing races and stuff. Actually, we can install those races right now. So what you're not seeing here is I guess I can show you. I'm here cleaning the hub up. Now I don't have a driver. Here's my new bearings and the races. There's a hammer on the floor. You know, I think I'm going to take this. I think I'm going to take this race and put it in the freezer for a while, and then it'll go in a little easier. So I'm going to turn you off for a little bit. Okay, so I got this little lathe, and I've turned this socket down to use it to drive stuff in. But now what I want to do is clean up the wheel hubs a little bit. All right, so I got some sandpaper here. Just want to clean up any marks that I might have put in it when I was pushing that wheel bearing race out. Yeah, that fits in there pretty good. You gotta remember to take your wrench out before you turn this thing on, that's for sure. Learned that as an apprentice at Pontiac Motors. I'm not going to press real hard here. I don't want to push it out of the jaws. I think I got a 4-jaw check. This 3-jaw is working okay. The 3-jaw centers it not really good. The 4-jaw you can center it better, but you have to do a lot of work with the dial indicator to get it centered just right. We used to have collets lathes with collets. I really like those because they ran really consistently center. That works pretty good. I got bearings races in the freezer. 15 degrees below zero. You'd think it'd slide right in there. It's a piece of aluminum. Well, that seems to be going in awful hard. Yeah, you can pretty much tell when I get to the bottom. That one's there. Okay, I'll go get the other one. Well, it looked like the Celsius temperature and the Fahrenheit temperature pretty much match there at 15 degrees below zero. Okay, this one's got to go in quite a bit deeper. It's got a ways to go yet. That feels like it's bottomed out. Yep. Okay. It's almost 90 degrees here today. That's pretty hot. That ought to do her. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I pack wheel bearings. This is my packer, and I had this when I worked at Lapeer Aviation. Now the question is, do you put this side down or this side down? I think either side will work. Let's try this one, this side. Now you set that in there, and there's grease in here, and we're going to put pressure on it to push the grease up through the bearing. Well, so it looks like the grease started to go in, but it didn't really go in very well. So let's try it this way. Okay, so you can see how it pushed the grease up through here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and put some grease on the outside of the bearing too. We'll put that in. I think I already showed you putting a seal on. Try to keep the seal nice and even. Okay. All right. Let's turn it around. Let's get this bearing in. So that's pushing her up through there. Got a little bit more. Okay. See, we got bearing all the way up through it. Or bearing grease all the way up through the bearing. Put the lid back on there to keep from getting any dirt in it. So we'll take this out and put it on the trailer. I'll line it up here. Okay. Now there's a cotter key that goes on this, but I'm not done yet, so I will, after I've got the tires on there and everything, I'll come back later and put the cotter key on. I like to have the wheel on there before I do that. I tighten it up so it's really nice and tight, and then I just loosen it up a little bit for the cotter key. Right now we're just gonna put the grease cap on it for now. All right, that'll keep the weather off of it. So that's good for now. Thanks for watching. God bless.